This is the greatest quarterback rivalry in NFL history, and it begins Week 9 of the Dream Season Football League 2020. Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning. The 8-0 Patriots play host to the 2-6 Broncos. If Denver loses the game, they are out of the playoffs. And that Bronco defense would do Manning no favors in the first half as Brady connects with Moss on a 3rd and 11. 2 plays later, the quarterback finds tight end Benjamin Watson for a 22-yard New England touchdown. Then Lawrence Brody would tack on his 6th touchdown run of the year. He ties Atlanta's Devonta Freeman for the league lead in that category. Next New England drive after a Prater field goal, and Brady caps it off with a 9-yard touchdown to the back line for Randy Moss. New England all but won the game by halftime. Eric Decker, the veteran from Minnesota, does score on this play. That was part of 138 yards receiving for the wide receiver, but on 4th and 17, the Broncos are denied, and at 2-7, Denver is done. New England, meanwhile, not only has clinched the conference, but also they are the best team right now in the DSFL. The next best team in the AFC is the 7-2 2018 Kansas City Chiefs. Led by 208 yards passing from Mahomes in the offense, Kansas City knocks off the winless Jets by the final score of 13-6. Meanwhile, in the NFC, we have a potential playoff preview from the Superdome as the 5-3 Saints play the 4-4 Panthers. Winner makes the playoffs. The loser might just get there anyways. New Orleans is motivated not just for that, but also they are fresh off of a blowout loss to Atlanta, 28-7. Holston scores his 2nd touchdown of the season, and the Panthers come back down 10 and had a chance to win the game late in the 4th quarter, but Carolina squanders yet another late-game drive. They had 7 trips inside Saints territory and only scored on 2 of those possessions and fall to 4-5 with a road loss to New Orleans. After the New Orleans win, the Saints are now 6-3 and the 2 seed in the NFC. Green Bay could be the same record as a tie for the 2 seed with a win over Chicago, and it took very little offensive effort for Green Bay to beat Chicago. The Bears' offense was terrible. They had 2.8 yards per play, 3 of 14 on 3rd and 4th downs, and had just 6 first downs for the game. Crosby hits 4 field goals, and the Packers knock off division rival Chicago 12-3. The Dream Season Football League has been around now for 5 years, and this might have been the greatest quarterback showdown ever. Rich Gannon and Peyton Manning. He throws the first 10 points of the game for the Colts before Roland Williams finds the end zone or scores 10-7. Then there's Dallas Clark for Indianapolis, but late in the half, Rich Gannon goes long, and in a blast of the pass, Jerry Rice scores in an 83-yard catch and run. That's his first of 2 touchdowns in the game. Raiders down a field goal, and Rice is in the end zone again. Oakland leads by 4, but then the Colts manufacture a 75-yard drive, and there is the wide receiver from Louisiana in the end zone in Brandon Stokely, 24-21 late in the game. The Raiders on 3rd and 7. This is the best 3rd down offense in the league, but they are stopped short as Gannon slides for 4, and the Raiders don't go for it, they punt. Indianapolis can win the game with 2 first downs. There is one for the rookie Joseph Adai. And the second opportunity on 3rd and 1, they fake it to Adai. Manning's pass is nearly picked off by Woodson, but the Raiders defense makes the stop and gets the ball back with an extra 40 seconds to go. Out of timeouts, Gannon, he finds the spinning and the diving Tim Brown for 15 yards. Oakland keeps the clock moving. Then this dropped pass by Roland Williams would wind up helping the Raiders. On the very next play, out of timeouts, mind you, he finds Roland Williams. If he's tackled inbounds, the game is over, but Williams scores, and Oakland wins the game. The victory is their 6th, and the Raiders are playoff bound with a walk-off win for tight end Roland Williams, who had 2 touchdowns in the game. The 2 teams combined for 704 yards and 29 first downs. Colts snap a 4-game winning streak with a road loss, 28-24. From M&T Bank Stadium, the Ravens' playoff hopes comes down to this game against Jacksonville. So the Ravens, in an elimination game, come out firing with quarterback Trent Dilfer. 48-yard gain and a roughing the passer 2 on the Jaguars. Lewis scores from a yard out for Baltimore, leads 7-0. Then a blocked field goal, scooped up by Kim Herring, is taken back. Penalty on the Jaguars, 14-0 Baltimore. But then Jacksonville gets back in the game, led by the best rusher in football, 56 yards for the rookie Leonard Fournette, 14-10 in the second half. But then Dilfer finds his rookie from Florida in Travis Taylor. That's his second touchdown catch of the year. Baltimore takes a 21-10 lead. Then late in the game, the Ravens, who gave up over 400 yards of the Jaguars, but make a 4th and 16 stop of Blake Bortles and company. That leads to a Ravens score for the rookie in Jamal Lewis, his 4th touchdown run of the year. Baltimore keeps their playoff hopes alive, going into next week's divisional duel at Baltimore against the struggling 2-6 Steelers. Speaking of those Steelers, in Week 9, Pittsburgh plays host to the 4-4 red-hot San Diego Chargers, fresh off of that overtime win over the Jaguars last week. San Diego could all but make the postseason with a win today in snowy Heinz Field. The Steelers come out running, led by the excellent Willie Parker. This was his greatest game of the year, with 12 carries for 77 yards. He guides the Steelers in the red zone, and the rookie Heath Miller of the Steelers scores, and Pittsburgh takes a 10-3 lead going into the half. San Diego's offense is one of the best in the league, and late in the third quarter, Phillip Rivers guides the Chargers downfield. The quarterback, who is just short of the 2,000-yard club after Week 9, he guides this possession by throwing the pass to Lorenzo Neal. Then on the very next play, running back screen to the electric Michael Turner, and he finds the end zone. The Chargers are within one score with just a couple minutes to go in the game. Next Steelers drive, 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger is denied by inches by that Charger defense. Then on another 3rd and inches, they are stuffed yet again on the run from Bettis. They began the game to the Steelers 6 for 7 on 3rd down. 4th and 1, San Diego goes for it, and Tomlinson converts. That would be his stat line for the game, 8 carries for 50 yards. Next play, Rivers on an in-cut finds LT for his only catch of the game. Then with 1:05 to go, out-cut right, that is to Lorenzo Neal, and San Diego just one play away from their 5th win of the year, and they receive it on a touchdown pass. Phillip Rivers to Vincent Jackson. That has been a popular connection here down the stretch of the regular season. San Diego needs one more defensive stand to put this one on ice. The Steelers in a tough year, sacked by Jacques Césaire on the final play of the game. The Steelers fall to 2-7. Meanwhile, San Diego is in the mix for the playoffs. There's a look at the teams vying for 2 playoff spots. San Diego's 5-4. Eagles and Rams, 2-3-5 clubs, clash in the Coliseum in LA. Loser is all but eliminated from the playoffs. One of the plays of the year. Wentz on the run finds Nelson Aguilar for a 93-yard touchdown to put Philadelphia in front. That was part of a 342-yard performance for the Eagles offense today. St. Louis struggled throughout the night, 2 of 8 on 3rd down, but Wilkins hits a long-distance field goal, but then his onside kick is recovered by Philadelphia, and Corey Clement on a 3rd and 8 wins the game on this running back screen. Philadelphia has a shot to make the playoffs. They would do so with a win at the Link next week against the 4-5 Panthers. In a game featuring the top 2 teams in the NFC, the winner all but clinches the conference. 7-1 Seattle visits 6-2 Tampa Bay. This was anticipated to being an incredible matchup. Russell Wilson caps off this drive by spinning away from Simeon Rice, and the Seahawks take a 10-0 lead. The Seahawks would wind up outgaining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 241 yards. The Buccaneers were a dreadful 0 for 6 on 3rd down, including this fumble from Joe Jurevicius, and with the game already decided, Wilson rubs it in with a touchdown throw to Golden Tate. That is the sort of play I'm sure the Bucs won't soon forget. And in the final game of Week 9, the Atlanta Falcons at 5-3 would clinch the playoffs with a win over the New York Giants, a team that hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks, and that streak would continue as the Falcons shut down New York. 5 field goals from Matt Bryant, the Pro Bowler, and a touchdown run from Freeman, and the Falcons have matched 2 other teams in the NFC with a 6-3 record and are playoff bound. That is part of a wild week in the Dream Season Football League 2020. There are just too many playoff implications to mention right now, so all of those will be discussed in an extended version of highlights for Week 10, the final week of the regular season of the DSFL 2020. 3 games come to mind, none more significant than a battle for the NFC 6 seed between the Philadelphia Eagles, who play host to the Carolina Panthers. This is the Dream Season Football League with Charger 95.